Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today, I decided I wanted to try and start something new. One of my biggest passions is makeup. I decided it would be fun to create this little May makeup series. Throughout May, I upload videos doing makeup tutorials or kind of like get ready makeup tutorial style. I wanted to put my makeup skills to the test and try out different things that I normally wouldn't try that I've been wanting to try. So today's video, I decided to take things back to the basics and show you guys a natural beginner's makeup look. I'm gonna show you guys how to create a nice, simple, neutral, natural makeup look. Gonna give you guys some tips, some product suggestions. I feel like I'm not looking at the camera a lot and that bothers me, but yeah. So first things first, you gotta have a good base to work with. So skincare ultimately is going to be the #1 thing that you need to do. So our first step today is to moisturize our skin. I will have all the products in the description below, so if you want to know what specific products I'm using, I'll have them in the description below. So I'm just going to moisturize my face using my Pond's Dry Skin Moisturizing Cream. All right, so step 1 is completed. We've moisturized our face. So our next step is primer. Primer is super important because it's going to prep your skin, fill in any pores, wrinkles, and just create a nice base for your makeup to stick to. There's tons of different primers out there and they all kind of cater to different needs. I used to really like the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer. However, now that my skin's getting more dry, I have been trying the POREfessional Hydrating Primer by Benefit. I like to focus it in the center region of my face where a lot of my imperfections are, but this is a really important step if you want your makeup to last all day and look flawless. Now, if you notice, I'm pressing the product into my skin more than rubbing it in. This is gonna help fill the pores and wrinkles and really press the product into my skin rather than laying it over my skin. All right, step 2 completed. Now from this point on, you can really do your makeup in any order. I'm just showing you guys the way I do it. So the next thing that I'm gonna do is brows. So there's a few different brow products that are out on the market. There's pencils, there's pomades, there's powders, there's brow gels, tinters. I really like the Anastasia Brow Definer. They have the Brow Wiz, which is a more skinny pencil, but I like the Brow Definer because it's a more thicker kind of pencil. All right, so now we're up close and personal. We're gonna start by brushing them out. I'm gonna start in the middle of the brow and just gently follow the shape. Go over the arch, follow down the tail. Then we're gonna go under here. You can lift your brow if you want. Follow underneath. Don't worry about being too perfect because we can always clean it up with concealer. When you get to the front, especially with this, I like to lay it flat and push up. Now we're gonna take the spoolie and in the front, kind of brush up, move that product, and kind of brush out the brows, blending that product. All right, and that is a good base for a brow. I know it looks messy, but we're gonna clean it up. Now, brows have a few points that you need to think about. You have the beginning of your brow, which essentially should line up with the nostril of your nose. So if you take a pencil, that's where your brow should begin. Then you go from your nostril under your lower lash line, extending it out. That's where your eyebrow tail should end, a little triangle. Now if you look straight ahead, your iris, or the color of your eye, where that outer part is, that is where your arch should be. And if you go horizontally, essentially the tail and the beginning of your brow should be in line of each other. All right, so both brows are on. Now we're going to clean them up. To do this, you're going to need a concealer. I like to use the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. It's just been my favorite. You're gonna need a flat top concealer brush, something like this. And you're gonna need something to blend out the concealer. So I like to use this little concealer buffing brush. This is by Morphe. It's the M173. So you're gonna take your concealer brush, pick up just a little bit of product right on the edge of the brush. Next, you're gonna take this and you're just going to dot it along the bottom of your brow. Then you're going to connect it. So now we're gonna do the top and we're gonna do the same process. And then take your buffer brush and buff it out. All right, so now your brows are done. Just remember that they're sisters. They're not supposed to be twins, but they shouldn't be as far as cousins. This is the Maybelline Dream BB Pure BB Cream. A BB cream is essentially a tinted moisturizer, so it's very light coverage. So to apply that, I'm going to use a beauty blender. You can wet this with some water, but I'm just gonna use a little bit of my NYX Fix Plus, and I'm just patting that on the back of my hand. So I'm just gonna go in and dot this and blend that out. So now the next step is going to be concealer. Again, I'm gonna use my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. So I'm gonna put this under my eyes, and this concealer is really good coverage and you don't really need that much of it. So I'm gonna put it under my eyes and on any blemishes. I'm also gonna put just a little bit in the center of my forehead to brighten it up. Now I like to use a mixture of the Morphe buffing brush that I used for our brows and my Real Techniques beauty blender. So I like to just buff in my blemish areas with the buffing brush and kind of buff out the forehead. And then I'm just gonna kind of move this product under my eye, kind of in the shape of a triangle. And I'm also going to put it on my eyelids to even everything out and prep the lids. Then I'm gonna take my beauty blender and go over the areas, pouncing everything in. I like to take my MAC Prep+Prime and spritz my face and blend it in with my beauty blender. All right, the next step is you're gonna take a powder. You can do a pressed powder or a loose powder. I preferably like a little bit more coverage, so I'm going in with the MAC Studio Fixed Pressed Powder. I've also really liked the Maybelline, I forget what it is, but it's like a Maybelline Matte Finish Powder. I'm gonna take a big fluffy powder brush and just set all that concealer and BB cream. Make sure to set under the eyes, as you don't want that to crease, as well as your eyelids, which I already did off camera because my camera died. Okay, so the next step is going to be bronzer and blush. So I personally, these are my favorite products that I like to use. For bronzer, I like to use the Hoola bronzer by Benefit. And for blush, I have been really liking for the past couple months this L'Oreal True Match color. I really like those, but if you wanted to get something a little bit more compact, Rimmel has these little trio bronzer blush highlight palettes. I'm actually going to be using the highlight in this for the highlight if you choose to do that step. And the blush is also a really pretty color in this as well. When you are applying your contour or your bronzer, you kind of want to think around the perimeter of your face and also in your cheekbones. Kind of create like some shadow with some kissed look. And then I'm just gonna go in with the angled brush. And then what I like to do is just take my powder brush that I used for my powder and just go over the areas. So now for blush, I'm gonna take this Real Techniques brush. You can also use a stippling brush like this one, or you can also use an angled brush. So you're just gonna place this kind of on the higher points of the apples of your cheeks and blend it up towards your temple. So now for highlight, I am going to go in and use this highlight that is in this trio that I just showed you, and I'm gonna be using this Real Techniques brush, but I also like to use sometimes the Real Techniques fan brush. And you're just gonna place this on the tops of your cheekbones, kind of where the sun will hit, and you're also gonna place this on the tip of your nose and your cupid's bow. And I would like to mention that this is an optional step, so if you don't want to glow, you don't have to. For today's look, I'm gonna go ahead and use one of my favorite mini palettes. This is the Lorac Pro Matte palette. I really like this palette because it has a lot of neutral shades and it has some darker shades to create some more dramatic looks. So you're gonna need 4 brushes. You don't need a lot of brushes in the beginning. So you're gonna need a flat shader brush. This is really nice for packing on the lid color. You're gonna need a fluffy crease brush. This one specifically is from Morphe. It is the M505 brush. You're gonna need some kind of like fluffier, flat kind of top brush. This one I like to use for the brow bone highlight in the inner corner. And then any kind of pencil, kind of dome shaped or a small kind of fluffy brush for your lower lash line, whatever works best. So I'm gonna start off by taking the shade Bare in the palette. It is the lightest shade right here in the corner. And I'm going to take that on my fluffy crease brush. Be sure to tap off the excess because you don't want too much. And I'm just going to gently apply this kind of all over my eye as a nice base. Next, I'm gonna take the same brush with the next shade, Latte, and use this as a transition shade in my crease. I'm gonna be using circular windshield wiper motions, and I'm also going to be holding my brush at the end of the handle to really achieve a light, fluffy touch. You don't wanna go in too harsh. And I'm gonna pick up my flat shader brush and I'm gonna go in and use the shade Pink Mauve right down here in the palette. I'm gonna go and pat this on my lid first. So now I'm gonna go back into my crease. We're gonna deepen it up a little bit. You could stop here if you want. I prefer a little bit more definition. It's still gonna look natural, but just a little bit more deepened. So I'm gonna take my crease brush again, and I'm gonna go in with the shade Corduroy right here in the palette. And I'm gonna pick up just a smidge, you don't want too much, right on the tip of your brush. Focus it right here in this outer corner. One of the best things to keep in mind is when you're thinking of placing your shadow, you wanna think of placing it up. Yeah?
Well, just seeing what you're doing. It's so bright in here. It's nice.
I know.
You're so cute.
So now I'm gonna go in with this little pencil brush and I'm going to take that same corduroy color and just gently place that on my lower lash line. And now the last step that we're gonna do is we're gonna take the shade Linen down here, which is the white shade, with this kind of flat top fluffy brush, and we're gonna place this on our inner corner and our brow bone. Now if you'd like, you don't have to do this, but we're gonna go in and take the highlight that we used and place this over top that white for our brow bone and our inner corner. Now we're gonna move on to mascara. So for this step, you're gonna need an eyelash curler, which is an optional step, but I totally recommend it. It's gonna open your eye. And my 2 favorite mascaras that I like to use, I combine them together, are Maybelline The Rocket Mascara This is a really nice mascara. You can use this just on its own. And then also the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. This has been like my go-to mascara. I've always loved it, and I just recently started combining the two. So you're gonna take your eyelash curler and you're gonna curl your lashes. So a tip that I wanted to give you guys is, as a beginner or even an advanced or intermediate makeup artist, you may find yourself getting mascara on your eyelid. And so a tip that I discovered that I saw in other people's videos and that I tried out and actually really liked is using a card. Place it right kind of at the base of your lashes and press the mascara wand into your lashes. Another mistake I see a lot of people doing is they pump the mascara wand into the mascara tube, and you don't want to do that because you're gonna pump air in there and it's gonna dry out your mascara faster. And those are the eyes all complete. So now the last step is lips. So obviously we're going for a nice natural look. So you could either just put a nice lip gloss over it, but my lips are really small, so I always like to put a lip product on them. Today I'm gonna go and put this NYX Lip Liner on. This is in the shade Canes. So I'm just going to line my lips with this and fill them in. Create an X at your Cupid's bow and then connect the top of the X to the corner of your mouth. And when you're doing the bottom lip, draw from the corner to the center and then from the other corner to the center. At this point, you can decide if you want to keep it matte or if you want to add a little bit of gloss. So today I'm going to add a little bit of gloss. I'm just using this Rimmel London Stay Gloss in Clear. And the last step for today's video is to seal everything in with a setting spray. I have two favorites. I really like the Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray. I really like how that works. And recently I've been using the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist, which is what I'm going to be using today. The setting spray definitely is a must because it's going to set your makeup so it stays on for the whole day. So I'm just going to spray my face. And try not to wrinkle your face, just stay very relaxed. So this is the finished look. I hope you guys like it. I think it is so beautiful and natural. It's really great for a school look, if you're going for a job interview or you're going to work. What do you think, guys? I like it. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's something new. I'm excited to create some more makeup looks to share with you guys and to put out there and to practice my makeup skills. I gotta turn this mirror because I keep looking at myself in the mirror and not the camera. I have a really bad habit of doing that. So yeah, so if you guys liked this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. It's really appreciated. Make sure you subscribe if you aren't already because you don't want to miss these future videos coming out. Be sure to check the description for all the products that I used in today's video, and also check out my last video that I uploaded. I'll see you guys next time in my next video. Bye!